right. Me and you, it feels so right. And we can do whatever you want to do, girl, whatever you like. It's all about you. Everything about you makes me better. So baby, we can touch the sky. We can do this for life, girl, it's all about you.
Yeah, first day, it was real special. Parking lot passing.
Labors of Love in Panama City, and I have a client that I actually started off. She was relaxed, and we're getting ready to show you the silk press. She went natural about a few months ago, over a year ago, and so now we're gonna do a first silk press. How exciting, right? Okay, yes. So I'm kind of like scary sometimes when I'm doing silk presses. Like I'm like such a health freak when it comes to hair, but everybody wants to know their length sometimes, right? Like how much you've progressed, what your hair looks like straight. And so we're getting ready to do that right now. I'm getting ready to walk you through this silk press, and I'll show you just how I get the hair silky and how we take the buildup off of the hair, build up all the products that we piled on over time, just trying to keep the moisture in our natural hair, because moisture is the major issue that we combat in natural. And so we're going to strip her hair. And strip, I don't want it to sound like we're doing something bad, because we're not going to just strip it and mess it up, but we're just going to pull that buildup off of her hair, and we're going to then apply the amount of product that I want on it, and in order for it to flow freely and have a lot of body in the hair. So hair is very, very thick, so we'll walk you through that. But I just want to let you know we took her from relaxed to natural, and now this is just going to be her first silk press. Straightening the hair. We're here at the shampoo bowl, and we're getting ready to shampoo her hair. And as you can tell, her hair is extremely thick, extremely thick. So we have to go through several shampoos. What we're going to do is we're going to pull all the buildup off, and then we're going to go on and we're going to apply a moisturizing shampoo. My preference is Design Essentials. I'm a Design Essentials junkie. So we're going to use, to start out, we're going to use the oat and protein. You probably can't see it real good, but here you go. The oat and protein and henna. Here you go. They only have one, and that's a clarifying shampoo. In other brands, that's what they refer to it as. And then we're going to go and apply the moisture back on it with a moisture retention shampoo. Okay, and the thing about it is that once we apply these products, we're going to make sure once we do the conditioners that we're not going to apply too heavy of a conditioner. So we're going to use the almond butter by Design, but at the same time, this is what I do, and this is key. Because I figured out the system with Design Essentials, I'm going to go back on with a light shampoo. And I'm going to pull some of the conditioner back off of the hair, because I don't want it to weigh it down so that the hair won't flow. So we do Gentle Balance, which is sulfate free, which is what we use on natural hair anyway. But Design and their products is for natural as well as relaxed hair. Even though they have a natural line, that's not what we're going to use right now for her hair. We're going to use this, and this is what I do every day with silk presses. We use these same products, and they work consistently and every time. So we're going to shampoo her now and pull all of this off. Okay, extremely hot water, excuse me, but you're going to use just tepid water, warm water, but it's just not going to be extremely hot. And we're going to do that. We're going to pull the buildup off of it first. Extremely thick hair. Sometimes hair like this has extreme shrinkage as well. The shrinkage is great, which is the case with most naturals, is that it seems like your hair is not really growing because it shrinks so much. But when you straighten it out, it really tells exactly how much your hair has grown. So you're going to saturate it very well with water first. You're going to rinse away as much of the residue of product as you can before applying the shampoo to the hair. Okay, so thoroughly wet the hair, and now you're going to come in with a good amount. Like, you can't stench on product when it comes to natural hair. There's no such thing as cutting corners. So you're going to do a good amount. of shampoo, especially when you have clients with very thick hair. Can't be scared to get in there. You're going to have to definitely scrub the hair because you want to also pull any buildup off of the scalp from different scalp issues that the client has, pre-existing issues, psoriasis, or just the dryness, the natural tendency of natural hair. So you're going to pull all that off, and you see how this particular shampoo has a high suds. But you're going to, this next shampoo that we're on is the Moisture Retention, the Honey Cream by Design. Just add moisture back into the hair and softening the hair. You want to make sure you have all that thoroughly washed this out because it'll become a buildup on the hair as well. If all of the shampoo is not completely out of the hair, it also becomes a buildup. It's like staticky. It'll be staticky, like, and the hair won't move freely. So make sure you take time to wash that out as well. Okay. But to make sure that the water runs clear and that you don't still see suds in the shampoo bowl. Next, we're gonna pull a little bit of the moisture off of the hair and apply this much conditioner. She has a lot of hair, but this is a heavier conditioner. And when you figure out systems for each product name, like it's gonna differ. Like for another product, maybe a whole lot of conditioner. Because I'm very familiar with Design Essentials, I know how much to use on each client's hair. Her hair is extremely thick, but you use enough for the length of the hair as well. So she doesn't need a whole ton of conditioner on because it is so thick and creamy. It's very good. It's called Express Conditioner. Actually, Design added name to almond butter conditioner. And it's just a very thick conditioner. So in doing so many silk presses, I know that you have to take a little bit of shampoo on this and pull it back off. Not all of it, just some of it back off of the hair. Very important that you don't use very hot water as well. The purpose of hot is to open. The purpose of cold is to close. So in with the hair and how it's formulated in 3 layers. One strand has like 3 layers. If you're fine, sometimes you don't have the last layer of your hair. It's the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla, right? So with her hair, she has all 3 layers. And so what you do with hot opens up the pores of the hair, the layers, so that you can get conditioners down into it. A conditioner is a coating on the hair, and so because it's a coating, you want to make sure that there's not too much of a coating, because if there is, then the hair won't flow. It won't have a lot of body in it. So I go back through on this because I'm just a tiny bit fanatical, and I pull a tiny bit of the conditioner back off, but not a high sud shampoo, just a tiny bit. And this time I'm actually going to turn the water down to cooler. You always want to go by hot open, cold closes. So cold water, you always want to rinse with cold water when you're ending your last step. And again, you want to make sure there's no blood still coming out of the hair to make sure it's free. If you were going to do a wash and go with natural, you would take a t-shirt opposed to a towel to maintain some of your moisture with your water, because we don't need it because we're wanting the hair thoroughly dry to blow it out prior to silk pressing it. We're going to take all of the water out of her hair. So let me just look at your towel. Leave a slight bit in because it's sort of like diluting something. You want to leave some moisture in the hair, which is not necessary to leave it just dripping wet as if you were going to do a wash and go. You would need all of that water. It needs to be dripping so that when you apply your products in a certain order, that they're not chalky on the hair and they don't just sit on the surface. The water helps the hair to receive the product that you're trying to apply better. So now we're going to move her out. I just applied a leave-in called Bamboo and Silk by Design to protect it for the hair as well. Blowout solution for the hair. So this is what we're going to do, because natural hair has to be manipulated. what you want to do is get it as straight as possible prior to silk pressing it so that it lessens your work when you're pressing it. If this was long hair, I would really section it. I'm not going to section it because of the length of the hair, so I can go through it fairly easy. So I'll show you can see how it's stretching. We'll come back and we'll show you what it looks like completely blown out. We're here at the blowout. A lot of hair, right? It just didn't look like she had this much hair, okay? And that's what you find out when you blow dry out some natural hair. That's why it's important that you blow dry natural hair. You cannot sit naturals under the dryer to dry because it needs to be stretched and manipulated. So you have to blow dry the hair. And you saw the method that we used, the blow dryer with a concentrator on the end and a brush, paddle brush, so that you can pull the hair. So you make sure you have a good leave-in and a thermal protected, but not too heavy on that. So we're blown out now, and what we're gonna do for this is we have to section the hair for this. There's no way possible just to grab chunks of this to straighten it. The key to getting natural hair extremely straight is to part the sections as small as possible. You gotta take a lot of time with natural hair, opposed to relaxed hair where you can take larger chunks of the hair and flatten it. Natural hair is completely the opposite. You have to take very small slithers of hair, something like this, so that you can get to the root very close as possible on natural hair. That's the thing that people don't like to take time to do. They don't like food with natural because natural is time consuming. But the great thing about natural is you can charge more. So yeah, the longer the hair, the more time, more labor. So as you can see, I'm sectioning this. We're gonna take time and do it in extremely small sections. And what I want to do is just show you part of it. The first one, in silk presses, you want to make sure you get all of the small strands, even around the perimeter of the hair. You want to make sure you get all of those. Get down to the root. So that's what makes it extremely important to make sure you dry the scalp thoroughly as well as the hair when you're blowing it out. And that's what takes a lot of time. It's because the hair will dry but the scalp will still be damp. So you have to make sure that you get thoroughly down to the scalp so that when that heat makes contact with that hair right at the very root, that it's not steaming and the client feels that burn. So I'm going to show you just a little bit how we do. And pull that out very slow. I'm going to grab the smaller strands right at the root and we're going to pull them out as much as we possibly can. So we use the small for that one. Pull all of her hair. As you can see how straight you get with it. I'm gonna pull every little piece as possible as you can. Pull it out so that you can see where the skin stops and the hair starts. If it was wet or a damp ending, she would feel that little burn. Just like you do when heat makes contact with dampness, anything that's wet. I'm going to show you just into the hair. You can see the small section that's part of here. You have to take your time and do very, very small. Here we are. So we have the next section. Now we're going to take a larger one for that one. We're going to take the comb. The comb works for us because it serves as our guide. It's going to hold the hair for us. Take it and pull it through once, and you pull it through again and go slowly. See just how slow. We're going to do maybe a couple more so that you can see as we move up throughout the hair how it does. But you can see how much body it has in just those small little pieces. You want to keep that body flowing throughout the hair. You want it to move. That's a silk press. You want it to move. You don't want it to be still. When the wind blows, you want to throw your hair in it. I'm clouded. Okay, so I'm going to show you just one more, just so you can see as we move up through the entirety of the hair. you can see that it maintains a consistent straight. That's to hit the root. You hit that root. You use the comb as your guide to keep the hair straight, and it gets the hair straighter if you keep the comb there. There we go. So as you can see all of that body in the hair and how it moves. Amazing for her first silk press, right? There. So we have that, and we'll come back and show you when it's done. Yes? Okay. And this is her silk press, you guys. See this hair? A lot of hair. Amazing. The body in the hair. It's amazing. The color we did in the first few months of the big chop. So her hair is amazing. You see the color just on the tips. It's what we call ombre, but actually this is just where she's grown out. This is where we colored it, and then this is her grow out from her big chop. Amazing, right? Great hair, great hair. So we didn't do a silk wrap, just simply a silk press on her. Super, super thick hair, just to show you all the way around. Okay. First silk press for her.